Good morning. Yes, my name is that weird, Wilfredo Sotolongo. If it makes it easier, call me Will. I live here. This is my hometown, Barcelona. And I'm delighted to be part of the Lenovo company. I'm one of those IBMers, the 7,000 of us that transitioned from IBM to Lenovo in the last year. In fact, last week was my 1-year anniversary at Lenovo. To be honest, we had a lot of hopes, great hopes, coming into Lenovo. Now that I've been inside the company for a year, it's no longer hopes. I know we're going to grow, I know we're going to succeed, and I know we're going to do it through the channel. We have made a lot of effort in the last 12 months to successfully transition the business from IBM to Lenovo. Most of those efforts are behind us now, and we're shifting into a very aggressive, attack-hungry mode. We are hungry, and we need your help to go take it to the competition. So what I'm hoping to do here today is introduce you to our group, if you're not familiar with us, explain our strategy, because it is different than the strategy we were executing at IBM, and explain our channel strategy, which is also different than what we were executing at IBM. I hope you walk out of here with clarity as to where we're going. Now, in order to customize my comments to you, I need to understand how many of you currently resell our server products. Can I have a show of hands? Okay, about 2/3. Okay, how many of you currently resell our PC products? Roughly the same group. Okay, good. So I'll go fast through the introduction, since the majority of you know my offerings, and focus on the strategic points. So, who are we? We are the merging of the division that was acquired from IBM with the existing enterprise group that was here at Lenovo that was leading with the ThinkServer product line. Our development facilities are in Raleigh, North Carolina in the United States, Taipei, Taiwan, and Beijing. Those are the 3 primary sites. Our manufacturing facilities are in quite a few of them in China, 1 in the United States, 1 in Mexico, 1 in Brazil, and 1 here in Hungary. Our sales teams are all over the world. It's about 2,000 of us in sales and channel sales, including technical sellers. And we have services delivery capability all over the world in partnership with IBM. We brought that as part of the transaction. We have brand new briefing centers. The most recent addition to it happened right here in Europe at Stuttgart in Germany. So if you want to take one of your clients to show them our state-of-the-art technology, the briefing center is available to you. Please use it. In terms of the portfolio, we brought the entire server line, x86 server line of IBM, all of the networking products, data center switching, all of the software associated with those devices. And in addition to that, we brought with us access to the IBM StoreWise storage family. And we're actually the sole provider of the entry-level IBM StoreWise products. We also brought with us all the key ISV relationships we had at IBM, VMware, Microsoft, SAP, etc. The Red Hat, SUSE. We brought all of that with us. So we have a full capability that we had at IBM in terms of hardware and software products. We partnered with them on services, so we can do that as well. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this coming together. Of course, At IBM, we had a heritage of state-of-the-art technology that is here with us. We were the first ones to invent the blade form factor back in 2002. We are the ones that have the newest blade form factor right now. We were the first one to invent the high-end systems based on Intel x86, and we have the most successful, #1 share, high-end products in the marketplace. So we brought with us 2 examples, there are more than I can give you, technologies that differentiated us the way IBM tries to differentiate itself. That's goodness. Customers value this. The most recent addition to this unique technology is the ability to put flash DIMMs instead of regular DIMMs onto our products, which gives you the opportunity to speed up database workloads dramatically with very little incremental cost. We also brought with us our heritage of customer sat, reliability. I'm sure you'll see this kind of stats from a lot of people. Fact is, our own customers tell us your technology is the best, simply the best. And through the transition, it stayed and gotten better. This was the #1 concern our clients had when the acquisition was announced, and it's the least of my concerns right now. Quality is up, service delivery is up. Now, transitioning from what we did well to where we're going, let's talk about opportunity for you. The opportunity for you is broad-based in this space. We recognize that. And we have formidable competitors. We tend to focus on the server part of our business. But I want to make sure you know, we have storage, not only the one we got from IBM, the entry V3700, as well as the mid-range V5 and V7000 storage products. We also introduced our own indigenous development, Lenovo S, which is targeted directly at the workloads that the typical consumer of HP MSA products has. We also brought with us the networking families, embedded switches as well as top-of-rack switches, as well as the operating systems. And we're working to expand our networking relationships so that we can be, I'm going to say, a more full-fledged provider of networking solutions. We brought with us, I told you, services. I'm going to spend a little more time on that because there was a question yesterday on the breadth of those services. What most people don't realize is we brought with us all the reference architectures and all the appliances that we had at IBM. So whether you're implementing VDI with Citrix or VMware, those reference architectures came with us. Whether you're implementing SAP HANA or Big Insights for analytics, those reference architectures came with us. If you're implementing SAP HANA appliances, we're the #1 provider in that space, or Netezza appliances, those came with us. You have access to them in the channel. So we're not just playing to the server market. We're playing to become a best-of-breed data center provider through alliances connected to the marketplace. So on services, I added this one because of the questions yesterday. Our primary focus is close-to-the-box services, and there's nothing closer to the box than maintenance and maintenance upgrades. So that's 95, 96% of our services engine. The other 4% is stuff like installation of software, system software, not applications, installation of system software for clients that want it integrated at the factory, small stuff. We are not confused. We rely on you, the channel, to do all the integration. So tremendous capability in services, but all close to the box through you. Now, as I turn to talk about the future, I want to show you this chart. This was actually spoken about quite a bit early yesterday morning. Fact is that where we have been is not where we're going. We tended to play down here in the $34 billion space while we were at IBM. And that's still a great market for all of us to play. But if you're going to be the rebel in the marketplace, if you're going to be the disruptor in the marketplace, which is what we want to be, you got to go to where the puck is going to be. And that you already heard about, the overhyped, hyper-converged and converged technology areas. We already announced the relationship with SimpliVity. We're working on other relationships that I can't yet share, but that will be announced and will make us a very attractive, leading provider of hyper-converged technology in the marketplace. We worked with IBM on storage. We worked with EMC in storage. And there are other companies we're going to be working with to provide you best-of-breed choices in the storage marketplace. So we're shifting focus. Yes, we're going to stay in the traditional server space, but we're making big investments in the new areas. Now, we developed a new customer value proposition. It's very simple. In fact, you're going to say, well, this is boring. Yeah. You know, basic fundamental things in life are boring, but they're fundamental. If you follow them and they guide your principles of where you spend your development money, where you deploy your sales resources, where you put your channel programs, they are successful. So we're openly telling our clients now, and I'm going to contrast to the way we used to operate. We're openly telling our clients now, I'm going to be your best total value. And that means great technology at a great price. I would have never said that at IBM. Never. I would have said great technology. Stop right there. Of course, to be able to say at a great price means I got to do things behind the scenes to take cost down so I can more aggressively compete. And that's what's going on behind the scenes right now, by the way. We're going to say we're open and flexible. And everybody will say they're open and flexible. But let me be precise what we mean by this. We are not attempting to be all things to all people, like my top two competitors. They are trying to be all things to all people. I came from a company that tried to do that, and I successfully did it for 28 years. I know there are advantages to that, but there is also disadvantages. And the disadvantage is you're slower, you're more rigid, you're less flexible. So we're going to be the opposite. Open and flexible. So we're going to partner with everybody. We're going to work together with everybody. We are going to provide reference architectures and appliances built with best-of-breed technology in all the relevant areas. And this is why you're going to see, I'm going to say, a rolling set of announcements of these partnerships with state-of-the-art and leading vendors in this space. Last, easy to do business with. This is where the Lenovo DNA is bringing the most to us that came from IBM in the enterprise space. We're simplifying all of our programs on the back end. You heard a little bit about it yesterday. We're simplifying our IT systems, not only to reduce costs, but also to just cut out some of the crap that we had. Last time I talked to an attorney at Lenovo was like 6 months ago. At IBM, I used to do it every other week. So we're very relaxed about terms and conditions. Much easier to do business with. So that's the brand premise. We're being vocal and open about it. It is a material change to the way we used to execute. And we think our customers will resonate to this. Now, in order to execute that, we need to shift our investments. So I want to walk you through the areas where we're shifting our development dollars. because that's what leads to new products. So I'm going to start from the bottom up. And I know some of these may not resonate with the entire channel, but you need to know. We're going to create a hyperscale dedicated unit that will be focused on that segment of the market. We don't have a hyperscale offering today. We will have a hyperscale offering. We have one in China only. I guess I should correct myself. We have one in China only. We're going to take it worldwide. I told you we're going to invest in converged and hyper-converged architectures. You'll see us come out with our own converged appliances using our servers, our switches, and our storage. You'll see us come out with hyper-converged appliances using somebody else's storage and using somebody else's software. We are going to invest, as we already have demonstrated, in new storage offerings. The first wave came out in late June, early July with Lenovo S. There will be more to come. And last but not least, we will maintain the investment on our high-volume development, high-volume server development. We're going to increase our investment in field resources targeted at that segment of the market. I'm going to say the simpler solutions. At the same time, we're not going to take the eye off the ball in the places where we were strong. So, high-end systems, we're maintaining our development efforts on all high-end systems, and we intend to maintain our #1 share position in that space. On blade form factors and integrated systems, we are going to come back. We lost share for the last few years on that, and we're going to come back. And we're going to come back aggressively through the integration of these appliances that I'm talking about. On high-performance computing, we were already a leader. We're just going to shift a little bit from very high-end water-cooled machines to the mainstream market. Mainstream market, which means I need you to be investing in high-performance computing together with me. By the way, that becomes a training ground, if you will, for hyperscale type offerings, which will in time essentially engage, we will engage clients the same way we do with high-performance computing today. And we will maintain the same level of quality and service that we brought with us. Yes, if you're increasing investment in one side, you're decreasing investment somewhere else. The places we are decreasing investment are behind the scenes. There are things like firmware. How do you develop firmware? How do you develop water-cooled machines? Stuff behind the scenes that is not visible to you. So there is a reprioritization going on of our portfolio and our investments that is aligned to where the market is going. For those of you that are familiar with System Director, there is a new member of the family called xClarity, which is far superior system management footprint or platform than System Director. And I ask you to go drive it to your clients, because I know System Director has been a bit of a pain to many of you. Now, that's our strategy. That's where we're investing money. That's where we're investing field resources. I'm hiring people here in EMEA to hunt, dedicated hunters. We are hiring people here in EMEA focused in mid-market, which is by definition in our space all hunting. And that's also PC and server on enterprise. We're doing all of that in the spirit of accelerating our growth. And while I can't comment on specifics, Eric alluded to it yesterday, we began to grow. We began to grow in the most recent quarter. So I'm done losing share. I need your help to accelerate that share gain mandate I have. And I plan to do it as I told you. Now, I don't know how many of you saw Neil's presentation yesterday afternoon. So if you did see it, you'll recognize a couple of slides. They're similar. But if you didn't, I want to make sure you understand it. Unlike others who are splitting and creating complexity, we are coming together and simplifying. Direct contrast. And we are providing to our partners access to our entire product line, whether it's ThinkServer or System X, wherever you came from, as well as the PC business. Yes, we will maintain a focus on certifications, because this is how you add value to your clients, but it will be a simplified focus on certifications relative to the way we used to do it at IBM. We've shifted our top seller business model, frankly, to match the Lenovo way, because we felt it was a better way. And frankly, the numbers are beginning to demonstrate that it is a better way. Most of you here, I suspect, are very large firms, so you might not be involved in the top seller business. This idea of every quarter having the right set of product, very aggressively priced, and readily available in the channel through inventory is beginning to haunt. It's beginning to haunt. And we thank you for your support on it. I told you about the Simplify Incentive programs. There's only one target out there, and it's for distribution. We have a new program to pay directly to our managed partners some rebates. That's an incremental investment that we made. And we are announcing, re-announcing, I should say, a new program. Back in April, we rolled out the Lenovo Service Provider Program, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about. But quite frankly, I don't think we did a good job of communicating it throughout the countries. So I'm here to tell you more about it today. We're going to keep it simple. The tiering or the partner designation will be consistent based on the aggregate business you do with us, rather than individual product categories. We eliminated this dual inventory model we had at IBM for Express Seller, if you remember. Normal product and Express Seller product, that's gone. There's only one product, it's called Top Seller, and it's the same box. We've delegated to our country leaders all pricing. So they're now customizing our pricing decisions to local market conditions. And my expectation, actually it's not an expectation, I see it in the numbers, is that you should see a far more aggressive pricing position from Lenovo in your local countries. I see it in the numbers because I see the revenue growing, but the margin going down. That's fine. That's acceptable to Lenovo. Through PSAT, which is a tool that we did bring from IBM, but that has been readily enhanced, you have access to very quick pricing. Matter of minutes, not hours. And that tool now has been integrated so that it's available in one tool for both System X from IBM and ThinkServer from Lenovo. So you don't have to go to two places anymore. And the last change, the one we're implementing right now, is we're giving access to you, the resellers, to PSAT. So you can actually configure a product, check availability of inventory, submit the special bid request, get a price within minutes, without interacting either with distribution or with us. Speed of execution. On the incentive front, as I said, all of our incentives are linear, with the except of one target on top seller. which is applicable for distribution, not for you, the greater reseller community. We have incentives for the higher-end business, the high-end boxes, the blade form factors. And we're going to come out, as we come out with these hyper-converged and converged, new hyper-converged and converged offerings that require the integration of Lenovo and non-Lenovo components, we're going to come out with new programs that encourage the teaming between the companies. And last but not least, this new Lenovo Service Provider Program. Let me pause to explain a little bit about it. We rolled this out first in the Nordics, but now we're rolling it out everywhere actually in EMEA. Mostly Europe, but actually in EMEA. So what is it? It's a new program. If you are a service provider, meaning you buy equipment to provide a service to your end user, the way Amazon does, the way Google does, you get access to this program, which means you get financing directly from us. At the end of the period, you get the opportunity to bring that equipment back under pre-specified terms. We give you access to our maintenance services at an aggressive discount. We give you market development funds, 1%, so that you can promote your services. We know that if you promote your services and you sell more, we will sell more to you. And then Intel kicked in. I don't know if you're in the audience. They also will support the co-marketing activity with their funds. Probably the most interesting element of the program is to the right. You have two choices. One, we can give you a very aggressive price, purchase price, with a deferral, 4 months deferral on payment, or a pay-as-you-go model, which we call rent and grow. Whichever is more convenient for you. Of course, the devil is in the details, and you got to understand the fine print. I know that. There's a lot of excitement on the right-hand side here. A lot of concessions, because we actually know we're late in this space, and we need to do something about it. So, that's what I had prepared. I contrasted where we were and where we were going to where we are and where we're going, both in terms of our offering strategy, our go-to-market, and our channel programs. For those of you that are existing partners, thank you for sticking with us through the transition. That was very difficult. It was very difficult on us. I'm sure it was difficult on you. But that's mostly behind us now. And I think we have a winning combination. And it's only a matter of time before all the numbers begin to show it in the marketplace. Somebody asked me to provide key messages to you. It's very simple. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I am winning deals today that I would have never won at IBM. And I am hungry because this company, the Lenovo company, is hungry for this space and is willing to make the bets to win. Go ask the Israeli government why they chose Lenovo 3 weeks ago for all their IT requirements. Go ask the Italian post office why they chose Lenovo about 2 months ago. Why they chose Lenovo for all their IT requirements. Big German automaker that is not BW chose Lenovo for all their IT requirements. These 3 clients were not my clients. They were HP or Dell's clients. And they're choosing to come. The momentum is building. So, if you already have a relationship with us and you haven't felt this yet, and you think what I'm saying is maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, test us. Take us to a competitive client. Take us to a competitive client that is buying from HP, Dell, Cisco, Fujitsu, I don't care, and show us what we need to do to win, and we will do it. That would be my one request. So, Matt, those are my prepared remarks. We all go on to questions now, right?
Great. Yep. So, thank you, Will.
So I guess we better sit here.
Take that seat there. So if we can move on to the live questions. So just to remind you, if you go into the app, you can ask questions through the app, select on the Lenovo Theater session. And okay, great. So we've got 5 questions so far, but just whilst you're inputting your questions, I'm just going to ask a couple of my pre-prepared questions. So we spoke before, Will, about your time at IBM. You were there for 28 years. You've been with Lenovo for 1 year. From a personal point of view, what's different for you?
To me, what's exciting is I see Lenovo addressing core issues that we had not addressed at IBM, quite candidly. Let's start with the first one and the biggest one that I'm sure is in your mind, cost. Cost. Whether I like it or not, this is a space where if you don't have the right cost, you can't compete. And Lenovo has been very focused on taking cost out of our manufacturing supply chain. And we see evidence of it already. That's one example. I also see, which I alluded to, a focus on winning, gaining share. We didn't have that focus before. We had a focus on servicing clients and servicing them very well, but it wasn't about gaining share. It is now. Those are 2 of the 5 or 6 things that I could tell you that make me believe, not only hope, a year ago it was hope, now it's belief, that we will be successful in this space. Okay.
And just to follow up, so before the acquisition, the System X business was pretty tough, declining. How have you addressed, or how are you going to address those challenges that you faced whilst at IBM and drive growth in Lenovo?
There's a whole variety of them. I'm going to kind of illustrate 2 of them. First one, which I forgot to mention. A year and a half ago, we made a decision to move all System X manufacturing out of Europe in an effort to reduce cost. Well, turns out that we didn't reduce cost. All we did is keep the same cost and deteriorated our supply chain service levels. Well, guess what? We already made the decision to bring manufacturing back to Europe. And it turns out we expect to reduce cost and improve service levels. So that's just one big important decision, right? The deployment of resources. There's about 300 salespeople from Lenovo in this space, in EMEA. As the business has shrunk, because it has, we basically protected that environment because we want to be outward bound, aggressive, and taking the cuts where we had to elsewhere. So very thoughtful process of deciding what to keep and what to get rid of. To me, very encouraging. 2 examples.
Okay. And manufacturing, where's that been relocated?
I can't say.
Okay.
And the reason I can't say is we're finalizing the contract with the appropriate party to do it. I would expect that'll be able to be public within a month.
Great.
Start manufacturing here sometime early next year.
Thank you. So we're going to move on to the the questions that have come in. So I'm just going to take the first one. So when our customers go to Lenovo.com, the front page is dominated by notebooks and tablets. Will Lenovo establish a more enterprise-focused landing site? Or
I thought we had an enterprise-focused landing site, but I acknowledge that actually that's one of my bigger challenges. Lenovo is such a powerful brand on the PC side that we might get overshadowed, we meaning the data center group, by the larger sibling, if you will. We do have an enterprise side. I'm going to work with my friend here to make sure it's visible on the front page, at least the link, so that we can go to the enterprise site. Now, if you haven't tried PSAT, if you're not familiar with PSAT, I encourage you to go there, because all of the material about our products is there. And it allows very easy research on the offerings, to configuration, to inventory check, to pricing. You can bypass all of our websites and go straight to that tool.
Okay. And that's for Lenovo channel partners?
Yes.
Internet? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And just to follow up, so in terms of the synergies between the consumer PC team and the x86 server business, are there, can you leverage anything?
So on the go-to-market, on the going to our clients, we made a decision to maintain separate sales teams. In Western Europe, I'm going to be precise, in Western Europe we're maintaining separate sales teams. So there is a PC sales team and there is a data center sales team. Now, what we have done is we have matched the territories so that they can pass leads to each other easily. There's one-to-one matching, sometimes one-to-two matching, depending upon the territory. So in the channel, differently, in the channel, we've integrated. The people that came from the EBG team merged in with the people that were there from the PCG team, and now we have a single relationship owner with our partners and our distributors. That should drive both businesses. And behind the scenes, for distribution, we have some specialized resources for EBG, because you do need specialized resources when you get into the technical items. In Eastern Europe and Middle East Africa, we've integrated it all. We have one person responsible for the entire relationship with the end user, and one person responsible for the entire relationship with the partner. Frankly, we're trying out both models to see which one works better. And it's early. It's only been 3 months since we made these moves. Frankly, I'd love to get feedback, because at some point we'll come back to a single model.
Okay.
By the way, which gives me a chance to say something. This comment that Eric made yesterday about empowering local geographies, it's real. It's real. At IBM, we would never have 2 different execution models. Never. Here is real. It's got power in that you can experiment and try things. It's got risk that you may screw up things. But guess what? We are risk-taking. We are risk-takers. We're hungry. So we want to try different models everywhere.
So part of your disruptive
play,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the next question. So what is Lenovo's strategy for improving post-sale support, especially availability of spare parts and warranty repair jobs?
So clearly the person that asked the question must have had a problem with availability of spare parts or service level, and that's unfortunate. This is not an issue in general for me. So I know that answer doesn't satisfy you. It's been rock solid and stable. So I don't have a plan to improve it, if you will, in a systematic way, because our customers tell us it's good and our partners tell us it's good. Now, if you individually have had a local geography-specific issue, we need to hear about it, because we've got to fix it. I can think of one country actually here in EMEA where we have an issue that we need to work to fix.
Okay.
Right?
And so from a competitive point of view, so what's your strategy in the mid-market accounts? What's your strategy to displace HP and Dell?
So I alluded to the investments in hunters. And actually, in the mid-market space specifically, I forgot the total number around EMEA. I think it's like 150 hunters that we're hiring, targeting them at this segment. They started actually over the last 3 months. Their initial focus was the PC business only. Starting October 1st, we turned them on the server side. So that's it. It's a very focused. It's one of Eric's top 3 plays for EMEA. The biggest office actually for this team is right here in Barcelona. We have, I think it's 70 of them here in Barcelona who have been hired over the last 3 months to attack mid-market. We will do it with you. So the process is we are calling, we are qualifying, and then we turn over the lead to you. We're calling, we're qualifying, turning the lead over to you. And hopefully you can close it quickly and we both be happy. This team is going to training about the data center space. So I would suggest that they'll probably get more traction first on the PC side than in the enterprise side. But this is our key play in mid-market.
Okay. So the next question, so in terms of special bids, bid pricing, and waiting for those to come through, what's your strategy on that area going forward?
Yeah, so this is true. This is an area where we've had problems. In fact, it was horrible in January and February, and I apologize for that. It was horrible in January and February because of the transition. Now, what is the fix? The first element of the fix was to get to the new PSAT tool that we got to in July, which implements a simplified pricing engine. This is behind the scenes stuff you may not know about or care to know about, but we did that in July, and we now see that the pricing system is spitting out prices that make sense in minutes rather than hours for smaller transactions. And smaller transactions here is stuff less than 150K, okay? So that's the fix for that. We've also delegated the pricing, those decisions to each country. So each country has control over that. For transactions larger than that, what we have done is we freed up the pricing team that was busy fixing the messes we had in the small transaction engine to price the larger transactions. That pricing team has reduced our service level from, I think it was 24 hours, working hours, to 14 over the last 6 months. And I'm trying to drive them to 8 working hours for the big deals, which is almost best of breed. The key to doing that is the implementation of the Lenovo IT systems, because we're still running on IBM IT systems, which have a fully integrated front to back end for pricing. So there's no human intervention. That will come. We will improve from 14 to 8 to 10 hours before we make the transition to the Lenovo IT systems. And once we make the transition to the Lenovo IT systems, middle of next year, we hope to get down to 6 work hours for the big deals again. Okay? So that I gave you a lot of detail there because we're focused. All right?
And that's standard across the region?
Yes, that's actually an EMEA-wide implementation. So there should be no difference by region.
Okay. Okay, so the next question. So when will Lenovo further invest in dedicated sales reps, partner managers in the Netherlands? We've seen constant shifts in the Dutch Lenovo organization. This makes it hard to commit to a sustainable partnership.
I'm actually familiar with that one, and it's true. We moved out some employees out of our Dutch operation, and we are actually hiring right now We hired one last week, and we're looking for 2 more. So it's right now. It's going on right now. By the way, while Dutch may have been, I'm going to say, a little more intense, we've been doing that actually across all of EMEA for the last 6 months. And quite candidly, we're doing it so that we can shift our profile from a more farming mindset that we got used to at IBM to a more hunting mindset, which is what the Lenovo company wants us to do.
Okay. So the end of support for Windows 2003 failed to generate significant refresh business. Do you think the end of support for SQL Server 2005 will provide bigger opportunities?
Personal gut is no. I mean, there will be opportunities, but personally, I agree with this statement. I would have expected far more business out of Server 2003, but my personal perspective is, go back to that chart I showed on what's happening in the market, right? These systems are getting so powerful now that even as you migrate to state-of-the-art technology on the software stack, you can still be shrinking on a steady, I'm going to say, secular decline environment, right? So I don't really get excited about this particular, I'm going to say, these particular transitions. What I do get excited about are these radical new models that are being suggested, and I know some of them will fail. So be it. But they create, for us collectively, a fantastic opportunity. Think about hyper-converged. By definition, what hyper-converged is using a traditional x86 server to do all the functions that were before done by a server and a storage subsystem, some networking subsystem, and some backup system. So if we play to that market, the hyper-converged market, all of a sudden, my total addressable market goes way beyond the server market. I can go into storage, I can go into network, I can go into software. All of a sudden, my opportunity multiplies by 3. Same is true for you if you were just selling IBM/Lenovo servers before, right? So it's a fantastic opportunity. I'm not too excited about that one.
Okay. But so, I mean, obviously there's a big installed base of Windows Server 2003. Do you think that a lot of customers have gone to the converged infrastructure routes?
No. It's very small. I guess it's about $1 billion business globally right now.
Okay.
But it's projected to be, $50 billion business in 3 or 4 years. And we know that if you get in on the front end of that train and you do it well, it's a ticket to double-digit growth and accelerate share gain. So that's what we're going to ride that horse.
So what do you think customers are doing then with?
Who are they doing it with?
Oh, so what are they? What do you think they're doing then with Windows Server 2003? Are they?
They're doing it with all of us to some extent, but they're all experiments to some extent so far. They're doing it with all of us. I mean, the chart that Steve showed yesterday was correct. All of us are playing in this space. We just want to do it better, faster than the other guys.
Okay. So talking about Steve, so he outlined the 8-channel frustrations in his keynote yesterday. So what will Lenovo focus on?
Fantastic question. I actually, as he was going through it, I was writing them down and self-assessing me. And I concluded on 2. Actually, very helpful chart, by the way. 2, the one about people relationships.
Yep.
Somebody actually already asked a question related to this, the revolving door or changes of staff and personnel. I got to work on that. Some of that was clearly due to the transition and the merging of 2 organizations. I got to stabilize that. So I'm going to focus on that one. And the other one was also alluded to already, which is the deal registration process. I have one. It works. But it's maybe slower than it needs to be. Those are the top 2 that I need to work on. The ones I don't have to worry about, so I'll do a little selling on that, that I had to worry about before, is opportunity management system, right? One of the big policy changes we made transitioning from IBM to Lenovo, at IBM we asked that you enter opportunities into our opportunity management systems. And I know we don't. And I know that reduced workload on you, and I also know that reduce oversight on you, but it's more of this channel-friendly attitude, right? The other one was complex rebate systems. We don't have them anymore. They're very simple. So of the 8, I feel good about 6. I don't feel good about 2. And I told you the 2 that we're going to work on. If I got it wrong, tell us.
Okay. So there's been strong growth in hyperscale data centers from white box vendors. Do you expect to see them eventually go down to the mid-market and below, I guess the ODMs? Although I guess you could also, if service providers are buying them and offering managed services as well, that's an option.
So I'm not sure I understand the question, so I'll answer it 2 ways, and hopefully one of those answers the question you were really asking. No, I don't see ODMs coming down to mid-market to sell into that segment of the market. It's a custom-built model, and you have to have large volumes to justify the customization. So I don't see that happening. What is already happening for a long time is mid-market customers are saying, I'm not going to buy a server anymore. I'll just put it in, somebody's cloud. And that's actually part of the reason why the traditional server market is in secular decline right now. So whichever the question was, one is not going to happen, I don't think. The other one is happening, and it's accelerating. And it's a mutual enemy here, right?
Okay. So System X webcasts that used to exist on IBM were great. Can Lenovo replicate this to showcase new features, I guess, going forward?
Thank you for the compliment. Yes. In fact, right now we're talking about having a Lenovo Enterprise event for end users, for customers and partners next year. Now, I know that's a major production and it'll be next year, but I want to bring back some of that best webcast capability. We do it internally. We do it with partners. We need to go to customers. That's where we're not doing it right now.
Okay. Okay, so somebody was obviously reading the Wall Street Journal over breakfast. So what's your view on the rumors of potential merger between Dell and EMC? If it goes through, what does this mean for Lenovo?
So having been part of a divestiture recently, I can tell you that the rumors are almost always wrong, because I got a lot of rumors on my back that were wrong. Some were right, actually, but most of them were wrong. So I don't care to comment on the rumors. We do attach to EMC storage. We plan to continue to attach to EMC storage. Very simple. Now, if that were to happen and they choose to, I'm going to say, close ranks amongst them, then that's their choice, not mine. I already said I'm open and flexible, and I'm going to play, because that's the right decision for our customers.
Okay. So networking. So you touched on networking during your presentation. It's a key component of our data center and campus business. So when will Lenovo expand its portfolio of switches? I guess you inherited the Blade Networks product line in the past when it came over from IBM. So what's the plans in that area?
So the straight, simple answer is soon. I can't say more.
Okay, and wireless and the wireless space.
I can't say more. Sorry.
Okay. So, but at the moment, is an OEM agreement with, or a resale agreement with?
We have OEM
Extreme
agreements
Networks?
with many networking providers,
Right.
including one of my enemies. So we do sell networking products.
Right.
Of Cisco, Juniper, Brocade, we sell a lot of networking products today. But one thing is representing everybody. Another thing is developing a deliberate strategy.
Okay. And so what is Lenovo's strategy for build to order and configure to order? It could be from a non-partner.
So I'm not sure I understand the question, because we build to order and configure to order all the time, business as usual. If you're not familiar with our build to order or configure to order capability, we may need to have an offline discussion. Part of the reason we're going to bring manufacturing back to Europe is to make this happen faster, because we would build right here and ship via truck rather than via air. So if I didn't answer your question, look me up at the end here, and I can be a little more precise.
Okay. And what are your initiatives in place to help us accelerate Lenovo server sales to hosting providers and managed services?
Number one, the program I announced, the Lenovo Service Provider Program. That's designed for the hosting providers. And it is financially attractive. It's got the rebates. It's got the financial structures, whether it's financing or deferrals or rent and grow. Go use that program. Go use that program aggressively. In fact, it's so attractive that scares me, to be honest, that it'll be abused. Because I know that every time something really good comes out, it gets abused. So that's the number one way. And if that didn't come across when I presented it, I apologize. It is the number one way we're going to attack the hosting space, through the Lenovo Service Provider Program.
Okay. And we got a nice question maybe to conclude this session. So what is the one recommendation for us to take away to act on today? And just to follow up, if you could summarize the whole presentation.
It's the one which I close my commentary, my formal commentary. And I hope you remember it. I did it in a way, hopefully it stuck to you. And I'm going to do it again. I'm hungry. I know you're hungry. Take me to difficult places. Test me. We want to win back some clients. That's the action.
Great. So, well, thanks everyone. So, thanks for your time, and thank you, Will, for your presentation and your insights. So, please give a round of applause, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much.